Welcome to another episode of this podcast. My name is Jana Mileva, and it is my honor and my passion to bring to you the words of the masters and teachers of the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are the library of the universe, your book of life, the memory of God, and within them is contained information about the past, the present, and the future. Working with the Akashic Records is a great gift which I wish upon everyone. If you are listening to this podcast, it means it is for you too. The topic of today's episode is the Akashic Records. I have asked questions to the masters and teachers which come from you, the listeners of this podcast, related to the Akashic Records. Here is the first question. Who is allowed to enter the Akashic Records? Can everyone learn to access the Akashic Records? And here is the answer. The information stored in the Akashic Records is of great potential. You do not allow a child to play with dangerous chemical substances, for example, do you? Also, great knowledge is given only to those who have proven that they will use it only in a way aligned with God's love and light. Everyone is allowed some access to their own Akashic Records. Knowing too much of your past or future might not prove beneficial to everyone. Entrance into the records of another, however, is granted only to those who have proven their worth. The key is your heart's frequency. You can't fake it. You can't trick the Creator. No third grader is allowed into the 10th grade classes, and even if he somehow manages to sneak in, he will immediately be spotted. It is not about discrimination, it's simply about capabilities and growth. Maybe some of you have heard that you live on a prison planet. You might call it that way. Some third graders view school like a prison too. Heck, some 10th graders do too. You do not live on a prison planet, but you could say that you are separated, put in a quarantine, isolated from the other planets and planetary beings because you're not ready to face the big challenges of the universe. It is so for your highest good. But just like students from different grades are not allowed to mix classes, teachers are allowed and expected to enter different classrooms, teach and support. So you could say that you're isolated from the other students in the universe for your own sake, but you're not cut off from your teachers and guides. We are these teachers and guides. We are readily available to you. But the earthly school is a school of free choice. You're not forced to learn. You learn at your own pace and however you decide to. And we are here to support you. You could say that Earth is a kind of Waldorf school, a more free and wild school, where children are not put into boxes, but left to develop freely. And back to your question. Learning how to access the Akashic Records is one of the most advanced classes in the earthly school. And if you're hearing this message now, this is your invitation to join this class. Again, this is a free school. You're not obliged or forced to learn or do anything. But classes are highly recommended to you. for your own good and faster evolution. So we invite you, join us, learn to browse the library of the universe and your personal book of life. Learn to communicate with us freely at any time you need us. The invitation will remain open for as long as you need. We are patient. Time does not exist for us, but it exists for you. So you might consider hurrying up. My next question is it difficult for people to learn how to access the Akashic Records? Is it more difficult for some than the others? If they are hearing these words, no, it will not be difficult for them. On the contrary, it will be the natural continuation of their growth. Writing a book seems impossible for a second grader, but it also seems like the natural next step for a literature student. You are at that stage of your evolution where accessing the Akashic Records yourself is the natural next step. Is it the natural next step for everyone on the planet? Definitely not. Are they missing on a great thing? Yes, but also even if they get the access, they will not appreciate it. A second grader cannot recognize the genius of Shakespeare. On the contrary, he will throw away that book after one sentence because he doesn't understand it and it has no pictures. So there is no need to feel sorry for those who yet are not granted access to the Akashic Records. They don't want it anyway. It will not help them. It is too early. They need other things right now and are getting them, just like you are getting also what you need. My next question is, what kind of information can people receive from the Akashic Records? Everything that will serve their purpose in the universe. Some will learn how to connect with alien civilizations or how to clear their karma. Others will finally manage to forgive their parents and will see the bright future that awaits them, or all of the above. If you are not interested in physics, we will not give you the formula for hyperspeed for space and time travel. What will you do with it? But if you are interested in it and also have the means to do something useful with it for humanity, you will be granted access to this information too. The Akashic Records contain the information about everything in the universe. They contain within themselves all the probabilities and possibilities of the past, present, and future. Maybe you want to find a loving partner. You can find the information about this in the Akashic Records. Or maybe you would like to help your child get better. You can find this information too in the records. Or maybe you want to achieve enlightenment in one lifetime. You can find this information too in the Akashic Records. The answer of any question is contained within the Akashic Records. You just need to ask, and if it will serve you to know the answer, you will get it. How can people connect to the Akashic Records? What should they do to reach you? There are many methods to do it. Different methods have been given to humanity at different times, depending on what was of service. You can access the records via rituals, for example. You can access them via prayers. You can access them in your sleep, or you can access them with the method you teach, Yana. This is the latest method which has been given to humanity, for humanity's energy has risen so much more than last time. Here is one simple way to connect to the Akashic Records that you, the listeners, can try at home. It is a bit time-consuming, but it is easy and efficient. In the evening, before you go to bed, put yourself into a light meditative state and think about what questions you want answered. Restrict your list of questions to 3, as your subconscious might not be able to take more information than that. Write your questions down and go to sleep. No movies, YouTube, phone checking, or other kinds of pleasant or unpleasant distractions before drifting off to sleep. In the morning, let the first thing when you open your eyes be taking your notebook, reading each question, and writing down the answer that pops in your head. This is very important. Don't check your phone, don't chat with your spouse, don't read the newspaper with your coffee first. The moment you open your eyes, take your notebook and start writing. And don't judge and analyze what you're writing. Just write. Keep on writing until you're sure there is nothing more to add. Don't rush it. Take your time to write. During the night, your subconscious will have stored the answers we give it. When you write, you unload this information from your subconscious onto the paper. Read what you wrote only after you finished writing down the answers to all the questions you wrote the previous night. If some additional questions arise, repeat this protocol of communication the next night again. We are looking forward to speaking with you. Who is giving us this information from the Akashic Records? Who are you? We are your teachers and guides. It is our mission, passion, and honor to serve you and guide you. We have only your highest interest in mind and heart. And as your teachers and guides, we find, process, and provide to you the information you need. You can trust us. You know us. We know each other for millennia. Some of you were part of us, part of the teachers, but you decided to come down to earth to teach, or just to have an excursion and do some field work. One way or another, we are one, and communicating with you is of highest joy and purpose for us. Namaste. These were the answers I received from the masters and teachers of the Akashic Records to the mentioned questions. These are questions that people often ask, so I compiled them in this episode. And if you're interested to learn how to connect to the Akashic Records yourself and communicate with the masters and teachers, I have a live online class that is about to start next week. I will be very happy if you join me. Sharing the knowledge about working with the Akashic Records is one of my greatest passions and my life's mission. There is nothing that makes me happier than seeing the look on people's faces when they connect to the records for the first time and receive the messages of love and support from the masters and teachers. For details on the class, feel free to check my website, www.akashicrecords.com. joyridecoaching.com. Thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in another episode.